This is what $17,600 looks like on a single month using one prop firm, and that's Topstep. And before you think this is some sort of flex or some crazy size, it's not. In fact, I did this with very small size, trading 1 to 2 trades per day and focusing on one simple setup. And in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how I did it. And more importantly, the simple, realistic formula that you guys can start using right away to make your first $10,000 using prop firms. And more importantly, without gambling, without over leveraging, and more importantly, without blowing accounts. So let's get into it. So October was one of my cleanest months ever. And not because I traded like some sort of maniac, but because I finally removed all the noise and bounced back massively from a burnout. Now, every single morning before I jump on the charts, I did these 2 things. I meditated and I journaled. Now, doesn't sound sexy and exciting, but that is literally what keeps me disciplined. And the very important part of my plan is following my daily bias. And I traded only fake outs and liquidity grabs, and I stuck to my very important rule: 1 to 2 trades a day maximum. That is it. Like I said to you guys on stream, less is absolutely more in this game. And this month absolutely proved it. And as you guys can see, I had a 89% win rate on days, not trades, meaning almost every day was green. And no huge wins, but more importantly, good, consistent wins. And as you guys can see here, those small, consistent base hit days add up very, very fast. So let me jump on the charts and break down the exact setup that I was using to make $17,000 here in a single month, and how you guys can get to your first 10K a month. Stay tuned to the end of the video, guys, because I'm gonna be breaking down the numbers about how you can go from 0 to 10K without over leveraging and focusing on small, consistent wins, and how you can add more capital and how you can grow that to 10K. But first, let's jump on the charts and I'll break it down. So here's how the strategy works. One of the very first things that I do is I establish my daily bias, bullish or bearish, and where's my liquidity levels depending on how the past few days have closed. So for this example here on gold, the daily bias was bullish based off the fact that 4,000 was a very big level of support and the previous day failed to close below the previous low, confirming support. So this is the day I got long here on the 18th of November. You guys can see here, previous came down, grabbed the lows, held support. So when I saw this candle here coming down and tagging lows and starting to wick back above, this is then where I start dropping down to my lower time frame. Now, this isn't the trade that I took in October to make me that profit, but this is the exact same setup that I use every single time. Now, when I drop down to the lower time frame, I'm basically looking for very nice either fake outs or liquidity grabs. And in this example, you had both. You had a liquidity grab here and you had a fake out because you had this 30-minute closure, close below support, hold 4,000, and then reclose right back above. So to me, this bullish candle confirms that this move here was false, and now it's time to get long. Now, where was I targeting here on gold? Well, I was targeting a 500 tick range for price to come back up and retest 4,050, and you also had a very nice trend line coming down as well. So I'm buying up into liquidity levels, whereas most people are trying to predict a liquidity grab, or they're waiting for price to grab some highs and then trying to go short. The way I like to trade, if I can identify that price needs to come up and grab a level, then I'm looking to trade up into them highs before then doing something else. And that's why most traders go wrong, because they're trying to fight the sweep, or they're getting trapped in the wrong side before gold comes up and stops them out. And that's exactly where we're looking to trade into, where most people are trying to short. And the very important part here is we're not looking to predict the markets. We're not trying to predict longs from down here. We're letting the markets close bullish, confirm us. 1, we have volume, and 2, we are now breaking back to the upside. So 3, I can actually start executing my trade. So once price is below these lows, your job isn't to predict longs. Your job is to let the market show you that this is a potential liquidity grab by closing back above. And that closure is what confirms the liquidity grab, and there's my trade. So once you wait for this candle above, it eliminates all sort of predicting of the markets. It gives you way cleaner setups, much better risk rewards with confirmed stops, and more importantly, way less stress. When you get in the trades before price has closed bullish, that's when you hesitate. That's when you close your trade early. That's when you doubt yourself, and that's when all the emotions come in. But if you let the candle close bullish when you're looking for longs, then you have more confidence to take, and more importantly, actually hold your trade, because you're following the markets. And that's what you guys want to get to. You want to start following the markets and be in flow with the markets, opposed to always be trying to fight the markets. Remove that tension as much as you can by letting these candles close and then take your play. And the best part about this setup is this setup literally happens multiple times a day in Asia, London, and New York. You guys can see these fake out liquidity setups following your daily bias literally every single day. And when you combine this with practice and only taking the A+ setups, you don't need 20 trades a day. You need one of these setups a handful of times a week, and you guys are absolutely on your way to start getting these payouts. Now, the real reason that I was able to make 17,000 this month, it wasn't just from the strategy, it was also from the very key risk management. And here's my rules for you guys. 1 to 2 trades per day, small size, mental stop losses, no moving them. If I missed a setup, which I did plenty of times in that month, I move on. Who cares? The markets are gonna be here tomorrow. And if I was emotional, I recognize it, I don't trade, and I take a step back. And as you guys can see from the stats here, my average winning trade for the month was $386, and my average loss was about $216, and a profit factor is 3.83. So that means for every dollar that I lost in the markets during the month of October, I was able to make almost 4 back. And this is what kept me alive and thriving, and what made the month so smooth and easy to manage. Now, let's talk about the part that you actually came here for. How do you make your first 10K with prop firms? Well, here's the harsh reality. You don't make 10K by trying to make 10K. You make 10K by aiming for 2,000 to 3,000 consistently with good risk management. And this is the thing. Most people can answer the question of, can you make 2,000 to 3,000 a month? Do you think that is realistic on a single Topstep account? Most people would say yes, because you've passed the combine, which was $3,000. So you would comfortably say, yes, I could make 2,000 to 3,000 a month with good risk management. So if you can make, let's say, 2,500 per account, well, if you have 5 accounts with Topstep, that's $12,500 in a single month. And the biggest mistake that newer traders make is they're trying to force this 10K on a single account. So you're over leveraging, you're over trading, you have no risk management rules or no personal daily loss limits. So stop doing that. This is the real formula that you should be following. Now, the biggest thing, start with 1 account. Use small size, aim for 2,000 to 3,000 a month, and then once you're consistent, once you've proved to yourself that you can control yourself and your emotions on 1 account, then that's when you slowly scale. You add the 2nd account, you add the 3rd account, and then you add the 4th account, and then the 5th account. And then that's when you want to copy trade between 3 to 4 accounts and keep your risk the exact same. You don't chase, you replicate. So the $200 days that right now might not feel like much, when that's copy traded, that $200 day with 4 accounts or 5 accounts turns into $800 or $1,000. And that's when the big payouts slowly start to come in the right way, opposed to trying to over leverage on 1 single account. If you want to trade bigger size, add more capital. And this is how real traders scale prop firms. Not by full margining and YOLOing the 1 account, but by duplicating consistent performance across multiple accounts. You guys can see in the screenshot here, this is member Nico making 5,900 this month, who is one of my mentorship members, and I've helped him go from 0 to consistent to now adding more accounts. And he now understands the power of, I'm not going to try and make 6,000 on 1 account. I'm going to get consistent, I'm going to scale, and then that's where I'm going to grow. Now, was this month completely perfect? Of course not. My biggest mistake was simply just missing some setups. But here's the thing, missing trades is normal. It's part of the business. And I always remind myself and tell you guys that next trade and that next setup is always right around the corner. And that is the beautiful way about the way we trade gold. It doesn't matter if you trade London, Asia, or New York, you can get great setups multiple times a day. So if you miss 1 trade or you don't feel like executing well on a certain day, that's okay. Take a step back. They'll be here tomorrow. And when you stop trying to catch every single market move and you start waiting for that 1 good trade a day, everything changes. And that is what unlocked a $17,000 month here for me, just using Topstep. And this is what is going to help you guys get to your first 10K payouts from prop firms. So to recap for you guys, I trade one very simple setup using liquidity and price action. I keep my risk small. I only look to take 1 to 2 trades per day max, and I focus on consistency over chaos. And that is what gave me $17,600 in a single month. So if you want to make your first $10,000 with prop firms, do not aim to make $10,000. Aim for professionalism and consistency. Aim for the $2,000 months. Then scale the accounts, not the risk. If you guys got value from this video and you would like more breakdowns like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below, and let me know what funded video do you want to see next. See you guys in the next one.